Today, we'd like to introduce you to the capabilities of SAP AI out of the box with SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard of the excitement of Joule, which is SAP's business Copilot, which can be used across all of the SAP portfolio of applications. Today, we're going to demonstrate some of the capabilities that are out of the box at no additional charge that AI delivers with the S4 public product. Let's first take a look at Joule. As I take a look at it, you can see the Copilot here. It's very nice, very attractive, and it wants me to talk to it in very English-like ways. So as we look at Joule, we should think of it as our assistant to help us learn how to use the system, find out information about the system, and perhaps inquire into some of the data that's in the system. So let's start off with how do I type questions. So let's ask it, how do I enter labor for a production order operation? Maybe I'm sitting at my workstation and my boss told me to enter some labor and I need to figure out how to do that. Well, here we are. It's telling me that to enter labor for a production order operation, you can use the Confirm Production Operation app. Now, this is giving me not just that kind of descriptive information, but also popping me out into the Confirm Production Operation help text that's available. So this is bringing us out to the help portal, giving us a lot of different information about this particular application itself. If I wanted to access that application and I didn't have it anywhere on my desktop, this is my Launchpad, as you can see, I can go into the universal search and just type that in. Say I want to confirm a production operation. Click enter. It brings me to that app and I'm able to get directly into that app. And as we take a look at it, if I just move Joule over here, I can take advantage also of some of the help capabilities that I have in the system to be able to allow me to get at the information that I need. So if I say, what's this? Well, I can go ahead and scan a barcode. It will tell me what is this app. So you're looking at the combination of Joule and natural language interaction, bringing me into not just the help text, but also the application itself and the ability to be able to use that application quickly and easily. So that's one way of doing it. And so as I want to ask Joule my next question, I might want to say, hey, I want to see all the purchase orders. Show me purchase orders for supplier Hermanos. I have one particular supplier that I like to keep an eye on. Their name is Hermanos, and so let me just see all my purchase orders for that particular supplier. Again, rather than this is just a way of being able to show, well, maybe that's I need to ask the question in a different way, and obviously, typing is not one of my strengths, but let's ask that question again. It was asking me to see a particular purchase order. In this case, now I'm asking for all of the purchase orders. And so you can see here, even though I mistyped in the first place, it went out and found all those purchase orders for Hermanos. And again, in terms of navigation, this is allowing me to ask an English-like question and being able to go out and see in this case, a purchase requisition that was made for that list of that particular supplier. So that's good. Now, what's nice is each one of those is considered a conversation. So I can keep conversations going or multiple threads. So I could ask a new conversation and it's going to bring me up a new fresh prompt. I can also, if you notice on the last screen, and we'll bring that back up, I have the ability to save or rename my conversations. So this is saying, hey, show me purchase orders with a U.S. domestic supplier too that are greater than $1,000. And it's going to go out and find that information for me. Again, this ability just to hop right out into that transaction Makes it very easy. You can see it's a $55,000 purchase order, and it's allowing me then to navigate and use the application very easily. So as we take a look at Joule at this point in its life, and it's obviously going to continue to grow and grow, its base level of capabilities are to provide you assistance in terms of navigation, being able to help you with transactions, and also provide you some insight into the transactions that you've already created in the system. Again, that is what the base level of AI is. When I say that, that's the base level of generative AI. Let's talk a little bit about the other types of AI components that are embedded directly within the S4 public cloud solution. The other aspect of AI that's built in or embedded within the S4 public application are really a few things revolving around machine learning, robotic process automation, or RPA, and then predictive analytics as well, combining those three things to bring very rich capabilities to the solution. I'd like to highlight a couple of those features right now. So I'm just going to scroll down on my Launchpad, and I want to talk a little bit about situations. And here you can see Joule is really coming up, prompting me, hey, show me situations, right? So if I want to show my situations through Joule and get at them that way, I can go ahead and ask Joule to show me my situations and link right over to them. But if I want to just drill into, I have them here on my Launchpad. I can take a look at this particular one. It's going to bring me up my list of situations. It's going to bring that situation to my attention. Let's just go ahead and hide Joule for now. And it's going to show me that I have a situation where we have placed a purchase order and there hasn't been a confirmation or a receipt against it. Now, these types of situations are handling exceptions. They're also looking forward or using some machine learning to be able to understand when ahead of time when a situation is going to occur that you may need to handle. So again, that's one level of machine learning. An example of that may be that a particular supplier typically creates or confirms a purchase order 3 days before receipt, and perhaps you're sitting there 3 days before the scheduled due date and you haven't received a confirmation. The system is going to go ahead and look at that particular behavior and bring it to your attention as a situation. I also like to take a look at the predictive capabilities, and one of the very strong capabilities within S4 Public is this predictive MRP, or as you look at it, little p MRP, and the simulations that you can do with the system. So here I've got a whole list. Obviously, I've got some demo data here, but as we take a look at this particular situation, if I just check on it, it will tell me a lot about this particular simulation. So I'm going to look at the simulation summary. And what this does is it uses both your current supply and demand portfolio, also will take into account planned independent requirements, so meaning that they're not part of a sales order, it's really your forecast, and it will tell you how your supply chain is going to behave. So in this case, it's giving me a summary. It's telling me I have 10 capacity issues, but it looks like I'll be able to deliver on time. And then all of the materials that are involved with this production or this procurement and delivery, I've already identified sources. And so what we might want to do, it's going to recommend some changes in capacity if I happen to be a production company, or I might want to do some pre-production or early procurement. Or if I want to take a look at those that are unresolved, I can go ahead and just filter through those. So this, again, kind of that predictive capability of the system, enabling me to look around the corner and see what I have ahead of me that I may need to address. Another area where the system is using predictive capabilities is in the financials. And so as we take a look at the financials, obviously S4 Public has very sophisticated financial capabilities. And within the financial capabilities, the system has the ability to maintain multiple ledgers. So you can have a GAAP ledger, an IFRS ledger, however many different types of type of ledgers that you'd like. But one thing that the system also keeps is what we call a predictive journal. And so, with each document that's entered into the system, it's making a predictive journal entry within this predictive journal to give you a prediction of what the results of your business is going to be. A case in point may be the fact that I enter a sales order, it's going to predict a delivery, predict an invoice, and it's going to predict the profitability of that invoice with basically all of the information and history that it has on hand. So as we take a look at it, it's creating a very detailed predictive journal entry, which, as you can imagine, allows you to consume this type of predictive journal entry into your financial reporting, into your forecasting, etc. Another area that it uses kind of this planned or predictive capability is in this gross margin analysis. And so as I take a look at this gross margin analysis, it's again using kind of what we'll call presumed margins, and it's breaking that out by the various reporting segments that you have, either by customer, by product line, by profit center, and then an overall presumed profit margin by fiscal year. What you're seeing here is this ability to be able to use that lassoing feature or lasso to be able to kind of isolate down a particular period that you'd like. So here I have my July fiscal period. I have what I'm expecting to have happen up here. And as I scroll down, I can get at some more of the detail and use that more of that detail analysis that I might want to view. So here, as I scroll over, I have this ability to get at the data, very rich data, to be able to drill down and around and be able to judge the performance of the business. So hopefully that gives you a good understanding of, AI is obviously a very exciting thing that we're talking about, but we also like to have people understand that AI, and if you look at the embedded type AI, the machine learning, the predictive analytics, the robotic processing automation, those elements that are embedded within the application itself are nearly as important as the really cool eye candy that Joule provides. Eye candy that helps you actually interact with the system in a very English way. By the way, it can do multiple languages. If you hook your microphone up to it, obviously you're going to be able to speak to it and not have to type the way that I am. But it's there for your guidance, for helping on training, ease of use, and also to provide you insight into some transactions as you're going through the system. Hopefully that gives you an idea. Again, this is the base level of AI. There's no additional charge for it, and it is really quite robust and delivered by SAP directly to you as a customer. We'll have another session that talks more about what the costs of AI are, where those costs start to come into play, and what some of those return on investments are in a later session. Thanks for your time.